Off the back of our first championship season with Wrexham, we finished 11th. If you haven't seen it, little spoiler, I'll put it up there anyway for you so you can go back. We haven't been as a team in that division for decades, so it was a good return. We didn't do too bad. There was never really any concern of relegation, and to be honest, not really much concern of promotion, but a steady start. We're looking really to step on. The team in 5th last season, I think, finished on like 92 points. So what I'm going to do is take all the likes and subscribes that you guys are inevitably going to do for this video, because you're loving it, obviously, and pop them on our tally and see where that gives us to the point to the end of the season. And I'm sure FM will respect that and let me get promoted accordingly. We're going to hop in to the end of the summer transfer window. We've played about 7 games at this point, so you can see kind of where we are starting off, what our guys are up to, and some new little faces we've got in at the club. As it stands, 18th of September, we are the 14th best team in the league, according to kind of PA, as it is. No, it's current ability, sorry, not potential. So we're not too bad. Similar situation, we're looking to kind of overperform this, but if we can push up towards those players' positions, we'll be pretty handy. So we haven't gone for kind of bulk, because we did that at the previous season. We're just looking to kind of flesh out and step up the players that we have got. We have lost players, unfortunately. Ethan Laird and Bowden going out previous season, so it's give us quite a bit of money back. We didn't really spend much of that, but we did kind of bring in a few big names. We signed £0 worth of players in Mauro Bandera. He's a kind of centre defensive mid up to centre attacking mid. He can cover both those positions really well, and as you can see, pretty damn good player. Angel Gomez can play the centre attacking mid position as well, so we've got him up here to kind of cover that and the 2 wing positions. I mean, looks pretty damn decent, doesn't he? Pius Amonka, he's in, more for the future, but looks like a decent signing. And Ethan Laird has come back on loan. We're paying him at £8,000 a week of his wages, not the entire wage. Reasoning of bringing him in is that Owen Adams and Owen Morgan, he's a cricketer, said he wanted to leave. Premiership teams getting involved, getting interested in him, and he was like, I want out, boss. So I was like, look, if someone comes in for, I think I said 11.5 million, you can go, chap. No one did, so I brought in his replacement, and turns out I didn't need it. But Laird can cover both sides, as we know, and I mean, we sold him last year for 5 million, and he's back at the club already, so not too much to complain about. We haven't really lost too much. We've lost Enrico Barignola, who, if we're honest, isn't much of a loss. He was a fella that we brought in to help settle our centre mid. And you know what? Overall, pretty damn good for us. So I'm going to hop over to our screen now and see what we've been getting up to on our competitions. We have unfortunately been knocked out of the Carabao Cup by West Ham United in the second round. A little bit painful for us. But 3 games in, we're 5 wins, 2 draws on the board, 15 goal difference as well, which is pretty strong. We're starting off where we want to get going, which is good. Sims and Arsheim, both 5 goals on the board as well, so the goals are being spread out straight away, which is good. I think our second highest goal scorer this season already is more than it was previously, and we're only like 9 or 10 games in, which is good. We'll hop over to the actual kind of games themselves and see what we've done. So we played Forest Green in our first cup game, which was a full 1 win with Bandera and Roberts getting brace each, and West Ham obviously knocking us out 1-0, unfortunately. We have got Selvin Ramirez, who we signed towards the end of last season. He's coming through strong for us as well. Quite a lot of potential there, which is good. Bit of value as well. That's going up, obviously, because we've got our second season in the Championship. Alex Roberts going strong as well. 3 goals from 7 for him. And the other name that we were going to look at was Arsheim, who's our other youngster that we've got. As he did last season. Pretty damn strong. I was able to offer him a new contract, or at least apply for his work permit, and I was granted it, which I think I covered at the end of the previous episode, but happy to be able to have him and play him, which is pretty good for us. But hopping over to the youth intake, it's just terrible. It just is. If I'm lucky, I might get one player who's actually competent, possibly in the future. So it's not good. Let's just move on. We'll hop forward I'm going to come to the close of the winter window. So we'll see where we are kind of February time, see what the team's doing, see what I've got up to in that transfer window as well. And hopefully we're carrying on that strong form we started with. On our season preview screen again, it sees us at the moment 6-1 with 5th. So there's a big jump there. Obviously, as we know, that is based on current ability. So you'd like to think that we've been busy in that transfer window, but we just haven't. We just haven't. The transfer window itself, relatively quiet. We only signed Liam Saunders as a left back because we're having a little bit of struggle out there on that left side. So he's came in on loan from Liverpool. The guy's an absolute unit. Look at the state of him. 6'5", he's fast, and he understands how to both tackle and cross. Always helpful for a fullback. We also signed Ibrahim Erkan as another centre-back kind of option for us. Potentially holding mid, potentially left back, and oddly right winger. Don't know who signed that up. Again, 6'2", good pace, stamina, everything we want him to be for a centre-back. So he's coming in just to kind of fill up the numbers, bulk it out a bit. We've made some sales as well, picking up some money, which is good. Selling Maxwell over to West Bromwich. Wasn't too keen on that. He was the reason why we had to bring in Liam Saunders. But he wanted to leave, and I think his deal was up at the end of the season, so we got just shy of $1 million for him. And we also sold Song Min Kyun, who, if we're honest, hasn't really been what we wanted him to be while he was at the club. 33 games and only 4 goals. Not ideal for a winger. And we've managed to pick up $2 million for a guy we signed on a free. So can't complain too much there. There's a few other names gone out, but we're not going to go through all of them in entirety because who cares about them? Let's be honest. Who cares? I don't think there's going to be any future players coming in yet, which is good. So everyone that we've got and money that we've spent is at the club. I think you want to know what we've been up to, don't you? You just do. Do you know what we've been up to? We've been knocked out of another cup. We just have. It was the FA Cup this time. A 2-1 win against Palace. Premiership opposition Palace. We beat them 2-1. And then scoring another 2 goals against, again, Premiership opposition in Norwich. We weren't strong enough that time, unfortunately. 90th minute penalty for them. Winning the game. Not even taking it to a replay or extra time. I can't remember what that is in this competition, to be quite honest. But Palace, currently 20th in the Prem. And Norwich, 19th. So they weren't particularly strong Premiership opposition, but they were Premiership opposition, so that's fine. However, in the league, things have been better, shall we say. Look at the state of that. So you were last with us, kind of just before the Reading game, I think it was. So we've played quite a few. We're doing quite well. There was a window here of 19 games in which we were unbeaten, and only one of them a cup. And even then, it was against Premiership opposition. We're having fun. As you can see at the top, we are currently top of the league, which is wonderful. A 10-point gap between ourselves and the teams in 3rd, and 18 points from Brighton in 7th. So currently, it's going pretty well. Quite strong. I've clicked on the wrong icon there, ignore that. Sims, top scorer across 2 of the competitions, and Roberts and Bandera sharing the Carabao Cup that we were aware of from earlier. And we've been top of the league for quite a while, good few months now, which is beautiful to hold on to. All the board are expecting is mid-table, and we're like, what about we just win the thing? That sounds like a better idea to me. I'm going to hop on just so you can see that kind of burden share again that we're talking about. So highest assist is Ramirez. Then we've got White and Gomez on 9 and Roberts on 8. So there's 3 players who are there or thereabouts at the top. Goals, likewise, we've got Sims on 20, Roberts 15. We've got 3 players on 7, being Ramirez, Kramer, our centre-back, and Gomez. And then Arsholm's just up behind there with 6. I think he had 5, actually. So I think he's only scored 1 goal in the last few months, which isn't ideal. But overall, as a team, we're performing much better. Mika Van Sass is still being an absolute chad, which is great. He is... It's just brilliant. I'm just a big fan of the lad. I just am. So, as it stands, we are... I'll give us the bigger table. Why not? We are currently 32 games deep. We've got 14 left. I can't count. Yes, 14 left, and 10 points ahead. So hopefully, on our next throw forward, we'll see ourselves with a little C or a P, or at the very least, a PL next to our name. And that is exactly what we have. We are, at the moment, guaranteed playoffs, which is wonderful. 13 points now ahead of Brighton, without any games kind of discrepancy there as well. And we've also got a 17-point gap between ourselves and Brentford, who are the team in third. So, pretty good. Pretty good. Ellis Sims, 28 goals, 27, can't read. And Ramirez is still our highest assister at the club. We're still doing pretty well. We'll hop onto here and just see what we've been up to in the month or so. It's just wins. Wins in a cheeky draw against Sheffield Wednesday as well after their 5th minute penalty. We've been quite busy as a person as well. We've been offered a job. Palace recognised our immense brilliance and tried to poach us. And we were like, get in the bin, you rotters. We're staying over in Wales. So we told them where to go. We've also recorded, as of like kind of mid to late March, our best ever league position. So far, we are higher than we've ever been, even last season. And we've still got kind of, 5 or 10 games left. And it's impossible for us to drop lower than 11th, which is great. As we say, sealed in the playoffs. Wonderful stuff. We've also have a youth intake. So I'll hop over here and have a little look at the players. So considering how much of a donkey of an intake we're expecting, we've actually pulled up a few of them that are pretty good. I'm not going to look at Thomas or Roberts because they'll just be your standard. Do you know, we'll have a little quick look at them. Why not? Attacking mid-left, both footed. He's just all right. He's not too bad. Thomas, again, attacking mid-left. A similar situation. He's good with both feet. Just looks all right. It's nothing too much to write home about. Another attacking mid-left, of course. And we've got Oliver Jones, who's a centre-back who's going to be coming through. He's 16, he's 6'3", always helpful. He knows how to jump, doesn't have any strength or any sort of accuracy when he heads the ball, which isn't ideal. But he can tackle, so that's helpful for a centre-back, I suppose. And William Kilker, who's apparently the pick of the bunch. He isn't as two-footed. He's 6 foot, he's got no strength whatsoever. And just overall, he just looks kind of all right. But we'll leave him knocking about in the youth and see if he ever merges his way up to the first team. We've got quite a few youngsters now who are pushing forward, which is great. Looking at the goals, we've still got a little bit of a spread here. Ramirez, Roberts and Sims all broke the double figures. Ramirez and Roberts broke it on both columns as well with assists, which is great, along with Gomez and White for the assists. So pretty good, pretty damn good. Ability-wise, we've got a lot of stars going about, which is wonderful. Average height for the club, 6 foot, which is what we want. Big boys. I'm having a wonderful time. Wages, our current highest wage earner is Kramer, who's our centre-back, who's pretty good. According to the star ratings, he's not all that, but it's fine. Don't worry about that. I've realised something as well. If we look at Hackett, for an example, we signed the chap for $8,000. Love him. Still love him. It's brilliant. My favourite player. I'm trying to play him as much as I can, but it's not what we're talking about. Look at him. Look at the state of him. Do you know what? I'm getting distracted. Brilliant. Potentially fantastic. So, I don't want to lose the chap, obviously. We'll go into transfer status. Before people start sniffing around on a window, if he's wanted by a lot of people, I'd hop in here. I'd go to like 10 milli, and his agent's like, they'd be happy with that asking price. So just keep pushing it up. See where we are. I say it's way above, so now we'll just hold the down arrow. We'll find the highest one that we can pop him on that he's going to be happy for, 16 million. Press confirm. And then that'll be like, look, we want this money for this chap. And it stops the teams coming in and just offering like $5. So they're less likely to be unsettled by stupid offers. And if a team comes in and offers similar to that, then obviously you've got to have that conversation as to whether you actually want to sell him. It does limit you, however, kind of pushing up, because they've said, look, you want 16 million, now you're asking for 20 something. Get stuffed. So obviously only if it's a valuable thing for you. If you think he's valued at 16, maybe go for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't kind of risk it too much. But as we are, championship-wise, we're having a wonderful time. Players-wise, we're also having a wonderful time. And we're currently on 89 points and only 4 losses against Portsmouth, Blackburn, Ipswich and Hull, who are none of which even near us, of course. But what we want is that, hopefully, to grab our little grubby mitts on that league, or at the very least, get promoted. So I'm going to hop forward now, and we'll see where we are in a few months. Our season review 2027-28 with Wrexham, and there it is, you can see it. We won the bloody league. We just did. I would have probably came back and gone like, oh, we promoted, where? Or oh, we've got the title, where? But it was getting to the point where it was kind of looking nailed on, but I'm not saying that until we've got our hands on the thing. But pretty good. Transfers wise, the board are pretty happy, which is a novelty to be fair. But I also didn't spend money for any of those chaps, so that's probably why they're happy, because they're tight arses. We did break 100 points, which is obscene. 88 points, 84. As we were saying on the previous season, there was teams that come through with like 92 points and finished 3rd or 4th. I think Forest were one of them. So any of those teams, I think 5th even actually, any of those teams would have got promoted with us this season, but they didn't, did they? The big scrubs. So we've got Baggies coming up with us, and then either Brentford, Cardiff or Bristol. I've got to be honest, I can't remember who came up. So this is where we are. There's a possibility I haven't even gone this far past to actually know that, but it's not my concern. We're going to be in the Premiership next season, which I'm pretty excited for. If I scroll down to the bottom, we were kind of guaranteed, well, we had the title, I think, by Bristol, or it was quite a way away. And then we just kind of dropped off. At that point, we were just chasing kind of records. So we wanted 28 wins for the team, which we ended up nailing. And 106 points, I believe, was the record points scored, which obviously we're a little bit short of, but ending up with draws against Burnley and Borough, not too bad. We got everything done nice and early, which is pretty good for us. The board wanted mid-table, we won the piss and think. They wanted us to be competitive in the cup, and we got 4th round, and likewise C plus from the 2nd round, both C plus for those, and then the A plus for the league, which you'd expect. Biggest win was a 5-1 away against Baggies. A match to remember was a 3-1 win against Bristol City, 3 late goals for us. And our goal of the season was from Bandera. In the 84th minute, a great strike from the Red Dragons central midfielder from 21 years out, a crisp volley. 21 years, 21 metres out. Let's have a little butchers. So we have the ball fed into Gomez. Decent shot, knocked away from their defender. Gomez has got the ball deep, back to Ramirez, Sims, and Jesus. So yeah, do you know what? I'll give him pretty nice little finish. Good ball across. He just absolutely leathered it. Overall, pretty convincing win for his goal of the season. Pretty tasty. It was actually a winning goal as well. Quite an important one for the game. We've had a club reputation jump as well. How exciting. 2.5 to 3 stars. We don't have any previous revenue, apparently, weirdly. And we had a new 5-year deal. Sponsorship of some sort. 4, in fact. Oh, look at that. I'm so excited. And the merchandise sales are just all internal, which makes sense. No one in America's buying Wrexham shirts in 2028, apparently. Season of the lineup. Van Sass has played 50 games in goal for us this season. Not even every game. Bernard, Kramer, Hackett, and Maxwell as the back 4. White and Bandera just in front of those, with Roberts, Ramirez, Gomez, and Sims as the front 4. Pretty damn strong, if you ask me. We've got Sky Championship Manager of the Month for March. Look at me go. Got a few youth ones to look at as well. Alex Roberts was both the Fans Player of the Season and Young Player of the Season. Angel Gomez was Signing of the Season. Goal of the Season we just saw, and Sims picking up 29 goals for the highest goal scorer. Most assists, actually, Gomez came and nabbed that at the end, which is good. Player of the Match, average rating, and most cases completed to complete the little things. Records for most assists for Gomez, most clean sheets for Van Sass, and the fastest goal for Sims, 22 seconds. Pretty tasty. A remarkable season for Wrexham, started superbly and never gave up. They are deservedly going up. Thanks, Isabella. Aren't I fantastic? I thought this was quite fun to start with. Now it's just kind of gets in the way. Let's have a little look at the player stats for the end of the season. So as we said, top scorer, Sims, 29 goals. We also had Arsheim, picked up his boots at the end of the season. Got himself into double figures for scoring. Met with Ramirez and Roberts as they were previously. Assists, we have 4 players, which I think we had anyway, but Owen Adams getting up there-ish with 9. Roberts, White, Ramirez, and Gomez with the top assists as well, which is insane. You might notice the wages have jumped up quite a tad. 44, 30, 27,000. Like the literal very second we had our budgets announced and that we were promoted and now a Premiership team, almost everyone in the team went, boss man, give me a new contract. So I've had to do so with quite a few of them. It's a little bit upsetting, but it is where we are. I wasn't too sure on Harvey White, but he's been at the club for a while and I thought it made sense to offer him one. Likewise, Ranocchia wasn't asking for too much. Kramer, I'm not particularly happy with his wages, but he's been quite important for us, so it'd be unfair of me to get rid of him, even though I kind of tried to, but it's fine. I'll deal with it. And Van Sass is just disgraceful. I love the guy. It's brilliant. Ramirez, we had a little bit of stinky contact situation with Ramirez and another chap. I think it might have been Hackett to get him to sign the deal. They were basically reliant on us being promoted. So Ramirez had a non-promotion release clause with about like a fiver, it felt like. So it was just massive for us. I don't know what that was. So it was massive for us to keep them at the club. And pretty damn important. So glad we got our promotion. Mostly for that, to be honest. And I think there was a little bit more I wanted to... do you know what? I just touched on it, didn't I? The budget. The fecking budget. Clicked on the right one. They've given me £47 million to spend, and they've doubled my wage budget. So, you boys got some money to spend. I've already thrown some of it at our players, but I've got quite a lot of money to spend. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, to be quite honest. So, if you want to, I don't know. I was going to say if you want to give me some players to sign, but I'm 6 years in the future and a game cycle that doesn't really exist. But if there's anyone that you can think of, give us a shout. I haven't offered Bernard a new contract yet. I probably will, to be fair. Looking at our dynamics, he's quite important to the club, kind of up here as well. We've got Van Sass, White, and Sims, who are kind of main team leaders. Oddly, not everyone supports me, even though I've been there a million years. I have made several players unhappy, but I'm sure they can get over it. But that's where we are. Where are you thinking that these bunch of ragtag hooligans are going to end themselves up next season? I would like to know what you think, so whack it down in the comments. That would be greatly appreciated. As mentioned earlier, like, subscribe. That would be beautiful. We've got some items on screen as well, so you can carry on watching. And thank you very much for your time.